Welcome back to the Flight Sim channel, guys. This is Captain Gonzo, back for yet another tutorial in the Zero to Hero series that we started. And we're here in Orange County, California. This scenery provided by UK 2000, one of our favorite developers in Flight Sim 2020, and they have made this scenery, along with many others, compatible with Flight Sim 2024. So, big shout out to UK 2000. Love their scenery. But anyways, guys, let's see what we're working with today. Oh yeah, this thing. The Optica. Aero something. I forget the name. Don't really care. You guys will figure it out. It stands out very well. It's a cool little bird. Very uncanny, unconventional design, of course. Kind of looks like a Bronco and a Bell helicopter made a baby. And it just, yeah, something wicked. But check it out, guys. We're in the walk around. So, oh, excuse me, ma'am. Thank you. I'm gonna do a walk around here. Check the bird. Looks good. Let's go ahead and pull chocks. Get all the stuff that we need ready for flight. No, that's not what I want. Okay, let's go around. Hopefully I can pull them here. There we go. Pitot cover coming off. Looks like all the covers are off, so let's go ahead and jump in, guys, and start getting ready to fire this bird up. So here we are in the cockpit. Like I said, it looks like a Bell helicopter and a Bronco had a baby with this guppy looking cockpit. Pretty cool though. It's definitely, I've flown it now once. I was flying in Innsbruck and it actually performed a lot better than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I'm here checking my controls, making sure that the HOTAS that I have is properly configured. But yeah, guys, this will be identical to the L39 and the Caribou, like Captain Flacco did. So let's go ahead and bring up that EFB, and let's find the aircraft and find the checklist. Now, I'm going to bring the EFB over here, because I noticed in the previous recording, I had to crop the video a little bit, or leave it in the widescreen setup, because the EFB was off screen. So I'm going to have it more centered now. Okay, so it's going to obstruct the view a little bit. But again, it's because it's, I've got a wide monitor. I've got a 34-inch with a 16:9 aspect ratio, I believe. So I have to play around with it a little bit. But anyways, it's all good. So let's get right into it, guys. Pre-flight inspection, doors closed, parking brake is set. So if you guys want to take a look at where it's at, it's right here. Now, I don't have the tooltips on, but you know what? I'm going to do it to help you guys kind of spot it a little better. So I believe it's in interface. Here we go. Let's go to the name and tooltips just for the tutorial purpose, because I noticed I did not do that on the L39. There we go. So parking brake, you can see it's on. Ignition is set to off. The ignition is right above us over here. It's off. External power is going to be a little switch here. Let me get the EFB out the way. It wants us to click it on. There's the external power. Must be on before engine start to meet voltage requirements. The ammeter verified. So now we're going to take a look at the ammeter. And you can see we've got plenty of amps. Let's go to the panel lights. We don't need them right now. Set on as required for low light conditions. Navigation lights right next to it. Let's flick that on. Panel lighting brightness as desired. Adjust panel lighting brightness, so we're not going to need that right now. Avionics lighting, don't need it. The ballast system, configure the ballast system weight for proper weight and balance. Now, I have not messed around too much with this, but you can see the ballast position indicator light coming on there just aft of the flight deck here. So I believe we're pretty good. Now, is that within parameters? We'll find out. And as always, you can go back to the airplane here, go to the flight performance, and you can find your mass and balance here. So you've got your ballast. Now I could fill it. We're at 2,500 pounds out of 2,899. So we're good. Center of gravity is green at 23%. We've got 50% fuel, and the empty CG is right here. So remember, the EFB provides you all the stuff you need, guys. Another amazing feature here in Flight Sim 2024. Now, before starting engine, the fuel dump valve. Let's take a look, because this could be a little confusing. There it is right there. You can see it. It wants it to be closed. So let me turn off. I'm going to pause track IR right there so I don't have to move away from the microphone. So we are confirmed. The fuel shutoff valve is just left of it. it wants it to be open. So for that one, we'll have to dump it in. And the fuel selector, it wants it to be both. Here's your fuel selector, guys, left and right. Let's put it at both. And the fuel quantity, we've got half and half. Perfect. Let's go right into the starting engine. So the mixture is just down here. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. The battery switch has to be on. The auxiliary fuel pump, turn on the fuel pump for 3 to 5 seconds. And the battery master switch must be set to off. Throttle, we're going to open it about 1/4 inch. There's 1/4 inch. The strobe light has to come on. Kind of like your beacon, but in this case, the strobe. Propeller area looks good. Nobody's behind us. Okay. Let's reset the camera forward. And the ignition must be set to start. So we're going to, once again, verify mixtures rich. Fuel dump opened. Fuel dump closed. We got to set the max to start. Let's see if we'll get it fired up, because last time I tried this, it kind of would have a hang start. Clear prop. There's a good engine start. After starting, fuel pressure, we got to verify. So let's go ahead and take a look. Good fuel pressure. Oil pressure showing in the green here. Let's take off the highlight. You can see it. It's right at 70 psi. Battery switch. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Generator switch coming on. External power must be off prior to aircraft taxi. Alright, confirmed. Ammeter. We're still getting some good amps from the battery and the generator. Transponder is going to be set to standby, so you're going to want to flick this up. We're going to be squawking VFR today, so it's 1200 in North America. Let's go ahead and set the GNS 530 up. ATIS, AWOS, and ASOS, right? So this is for your weather information, right? You've got ATIS and AWOS, automated weather observation, all your 3 different formats you can pick up weather. So we're going to pretend we got that. Pitot static heater. There's the pitot heater, so you want to turn it on during low temperatures. Right now, we're not going to be flying in cold temperatures. We're just going to leave it off. And the engine warm up. Slowly warm up the engine oil between 135 and 235 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to take a look. And it wants us to kind of warm it up, right? So we want to bring up the engine a little bit. And you can see here your cylinder head temperature, your oil PSI, and your oil temperature. So it wants the engine oil between 135 and 235 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at 140 right now, so we're in the green. It's coming up nice and slowly. We're going to verify that oil temperature is adequate for engine performance. Confirmed. Slowly rising, about to hit 145. And let's go ahead and pull the throttle back to idle. There we go. So now we're going to confer with our taxi checklist. Taxi light is going to be right here on your lighting panel. On. Mixture as required. We're going to leave it full forward for now. We're going to be taking off very, very soon. Parking brake will be released. It's right here. Interesting. I don't know why it's applying the handbrake. That's not what I want. Oh, unless that's the braking. I did not pay attention to that last time. Ensure the disc brake works properly. Apply brakes for up to 3 seconds. Now, I don't know if that's something happening right now with my pedals, guys. I did not pay attention. I could have sworn these pedals actually pressed in. Now, again, it could just be something on my end, but from now, it looks like the handbrake, it's actually your wheel brake, and it only engages when you click it on. So there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Alright guys, so we're here getting ready to taxi out. We are kind of in a weird ramp position here when I loaded in to this GA parking spot. So Let's go ahead and just remove the EFB for now as we taxi out. Brakes are off. Again, we're checking. Let's go ahead and start applying power here. And one of the highlights here of UK 2000, guys, you see these static models? Hawker 800 there, Gulfstream 550, Lear 60, that's all part of the default scenery here included with UK 2000. So they have their own static models. They have a common library when you purchase these sceneries. And it's pretty awesome, guys. It really brings out the airport and it makes it just feel that much more alive. But anyways, let's go ahead and start taxiing. I know we've got a runway here. Actually, let me bring up the EFB once again to check it out. I'm just going to zoom in here on the EFB, and we're going to take runway, we can do runway 2 right. Pretty small airplane, we don't have to worry about too much, having too much runway length. So we'll make a right here. Clear on the left, clear on the right. See, we've got a lot of airplanes here. I like that. There's a bunch of hot air balloons. You guys can see them over there behind the terminals and stuff. There's one in the hangar. That's hilarious. Hope they had insurance on that because that's not going to be an easy repair. And yeah, nothing to this, guys. As far as taxiing the airplane, it's just like any other regular airplane. Just use those rudder pedals to steer. And that's it. We'll do a quick flight controls check here. Let's go on the outside. It's a cool looking little thing, man. At first, I was a little apprehensive about flying this thing. But like I said, once I flew it once, I was pretty impressed. It actually is a very nimble airplane. Flies pretty well. Look at that, an A330-900 Neo and an A318 there, the baby bus. Pretty cool. That's all FS 2024. It's the default models, of course. Nothing to do with the scenery. So let's come up here on the hold short line, and we're going to set up for our departure. And it looks like since we'll be taking runway 2 right, we'll be making a north-northeast departure. Once again, we will simulate CTAF comms, so Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, to let all the other individuals around us know what we're doing. Alright, we're going to hold short here. Let's pull up the EFB. Let's go back to the checklists. Let's go to before takeoff. So parking brake must be engaged. Okay. There we go. Landing lights on. Let's flick them on. Radio set common nav frequencies. Sure thing. And transponder must be set to altitude reporting mode. So we're going to go down here back to the transponder. Go on and altitude reporting. Our heading indicator, align heading indicator with the compass. All right, so let's take a look. There's our compass right here, and it's showing 3029, so about 285, 286. Yep, you can see our heading indicator here, 2728, 285, 286. So it makes sense. Attitude indicator, it is set, so you can adjust this. You can roll it up or down. I'm gonna make sure that it's on the horizon there, wings level. Altimeter setting, check altimeter and adjust current altitude if needed. So right now we're showing, what is that, about 400 feet above ground level. I think that's the airfield elevation here. Let's take a look. More info. So right now this is, I believe, the live weather. I don't know if this is synchronizing with my current weather preset, but let's see what happens because we're on standard 29902, and if we go to 3008, well, no, elevation's 50 feet, so yeah, this is a little off. So we're going to adjust the altimeter until it kind of corresponds with our current altitude here on the field elevation. There we go. That's close enough for now. We're not going to be specific. All right, let's pull up that checklist once again. Flight controls free and clear. We already checked that. Looks good. Autopilot engaged. I'm not going to do that right now. To be honest, I don't really care about it. It just wants to make sure that you can override the autopilot by directly moving the yoke. You know what? Let's do it. Autopilot on. Yeah, I don't know if that did anything, but we'll turn it off. There we go. Flaps check, landing and up positions. Okay. So let's go ahead and move the camera over to the flaps. There we go. They're moving. So we're going to leave it there. Elevator trim neutral, so let's bring it down to the white arrow. There we go. Aileron trim should be set to 0.2 degrees for optimal flight. Let's see where the aileron trim is at. I can't see that one. Oh, there it is. There we go, 0.2. Mixture is full rich. Magnetos, engine should drop 150 RPM when switching from both to either left or right. So we're going to spool up to 1700 RPM. And then we're going to check those magnetos, okay? So let's go ahead and reset the camera. No, that's not what I wanted. Alright. So let's bring up RPMs to 1700. There's 17 on the tack. Let's go ahead and drop to left mag. Okay, about 75 RPM. Going back to both. Back on 17. Right mag. Yep, about 75. And when switching from both to left and right, so we don't see too much of a differential there, so that's good. Back to both. We're going to go full idle. Make sure the engine doesn't stall out. Good. Parking brake release. Let's release it. For normal takeoff, flap levers must be set to takeoff position 10 degrees. There we go. Throttle full RPM, 2300 RPM. We're going to lift and rotate at 55 knots. Flaps must be up when reaching 300 feet. And we're going to climb out at 70 to 80 knots. Alright. We've got our takeoff parameters. Let's go ahead and take the runway. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1 taking runway 2 right. Departing and joining right traffic pattern for runway 2 right. Full stop. John Wayne. Clear on the left, clear on the right. We're going to do a rolling start here. Here's the power coming in and full power. We're doing 2300 RPM. Airspeed's alive, 40, 45, 50, 55, rotating, and we're airborne. Positive rate of climb. Coming up about 250 knots. Or excuse me, 250 feet. There's 300. Let's bring the flaps up. And we want to start pitching to get that 70 to 80 knots. Let's bring the nose down. And approaching 700 feet. Let's make that right crosswind turn now. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1 on the right crosswind. Joining the right downwind, full stop, runway 2 right. John Wayne traffic. Okay, there is 70. And about 75-ish knots. We're going to try to level off here about 1,000 feet. Let's go ahead and join that right downwind. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1 is turning right downwind, runway 2 right full stop, John Wayne traffic. All right. So we're going to try to level off here. We're going to keep the RPMs there in the green. Like I said, guys, she flies very, very smooth, man. It's nothing crazy to it. There we go. We're on the right downwind, so we're going to extend a little bit here as we bring up the EFB. So obviously, if you were going to be cruising, you set all your stuff as needed. Right now, since we're going to do a quick traffic pattern, we're going to do an extended downwind here and then come around. So before landing, autopilot must be off, confirmed. Landing light must be on, and fuel selector to both, confirmed. And then a normal landing, we're going to adjust the throttle as necessary. We're going to set flaps. Normal landing, any flap settings within the flap airspeed limit. For short field, we'll do full flaps recommended. And the final approach speed would be 50 to 60 knots. Touchdown, the 3 wheels touchdown simultaneously. And the braking will be done to slow the airplane down. So we're going to go through and check all these because this is all more of a do it by feel. You know, you can read the checklist, and again, your VREF, your 50 to 60 knots is the important part. You want to know what speeds to approach. So let's go ahead and begin our descent here. And you can see our airspeed indicator, we're already in the white arc, so we can already throw a first notch of flaps there if we wanted to, but let's keep extending. Let's try to trim for about 450 feet a minute. There we go. Get a notch of flaps in. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1 is turning right base, runway 2 right full stop, John Wayne traffic. There's the airport, there's the runway in sight. And let's go ahead and get that right final. We're going to overshoot it here for sure. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1's turning right final, 2 right, full stop, John Wayne traffic. Yep, overshot that. Well, we've got plenty of room here, so let's go ahead and start pitching up. We're still in the white arc. And again, we're looking for 50 to 60 knots. And because this is a shorter runway, we are going to go for the full flaps recommendation per the EFB checklist. And again, I'm using my trim there to maintain that descent rate, as well as reducing power just a bit. And we're going flaps full. You can see the nose wants to come up, as expected. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1, short final, runway 2 right, full stop, John Wayne traffic. So there we go. We're between the 50 to 60 knots final approach speed. We're about 400 feet a minute. Looking great right now, guys. We're going to just touch down nice and easy. Look at the hot air balloons. That is hilarious. Oh, man, that is pretty funny. Let's adjust center line there. And guys, now just put your eyes on that runway. Pull the power when you're ready to. Apply a little bit of aft stick pressure and let that airspeed bleed off as you touch down. So here we go. We're going to try to stick her down. Power coming back to idle. We're going to float, float, float. Bleed off the airspeed. And we're down. Mains touchdown first. Nose came after. That's what you want to see, right? Let's get on the brakes. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1, vacating 2 right at Juliet. John Wayne County. Let's make sure we're past the hold short lines there so that our tail is not in the runway. After landing checklist, flaps must be set to 0. So let's go ahead and bring them up. Mixture as required. We'll lean it out just a bit. Taxi light is on. Landing light going to be coming off. And the transponder coming back to standby. After landing checklist complete. And what we're going to do is we're going to cue the post-flight parking. Go ahead and leave it off there. Let's open the window up, get some airflow. John Wayne traffic, Guppy 1. It's taking Juliet Alpha back to the General Aviation Ram, John Wayne traffic. Man, I got to figure out if there's a way to disable these default generic models, because it really ruins the experience. I know it was a big thing on Flight Sim 2020, but yeah, I don't know why they're still populating. You can, of course, always use something like the FSLTL traffic injector from fly-by-wire, or well, you're going to need it. Obviously, it's freeware. You're going to need that, and then you can also get Beyond ATC, Payware, of course, and then just install and use their traffic injection, which has been working pretty awesome so far. Now we're racing with a van there. But yeah, guys, all in all, pretty cool little plane. Like I said, it's definitely a fresh perspective on the typical planes that you find on all, if any, flight simulators. I've never seen this plane before in real life. Didn't even know existed. It's just one of those things that Flight Sim put out, and I'm like, huh, let me see if I can learn how to fly it. And yeah, cool little sightseeing plane. I'm here taxiing all over the place. And again, if you look at the cockpit, it really resembles a Bell helicopter setup, or like a Hughes MD-500 almost. So pretty cool. Alright, we're going to find a spot here somewhere. Let me turn off my strobes. Don't want to have those on anymore. Keep the fuel pump on for now. Let's go here. This looks like a busy ramp here. And then we're going to cut across here. And you see those that Lear 60 over there and that Hawker. We're going to park next to it. A generic model there from Flight Sim Traffic, of course. Here's all the UK 2000 scenery, static aircraft. Let me make sure I don't hit this Hawker as I taxi in. That'd be a very, very bad day. And it looks like there's a spot here between that old Cessna and the Lear 60 there. So let's go ahead and pull right in. This is going to be tight, though, so this is going to be fun. Oh boy, yeah, this is not going to be good. My wings are going to be touching somebody here. Not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and pull the throttled idle. Parking brake is going to be set. Taxi light coming off. Where is it? There we go. Transponder coming off. Strobe off. Already did that. Aux fuel pump off. Make sure cut off. There we go. Ignition coming to off. Fuel shutoff valve close. So that's going to be the left-hand one. I'm going to pull it up. Navigation lights off. Generator switch coming off. And lastly, the battery switch going off. And there you have it, guys. We've completed a quick startup, taxi, takeoff, traffic pattern work, and come back to John Wayne in the Guppy here, as I like to call it. This is the Aero Optica, of course. So don't listen to me. I think the manufacturer is like Aero something. I should have paid attention when I was loading into the sim. But yeah, guys, check it out. Pretty cool looking plane. And it's got that little sensor pod there in the front for observation, kind of like a FLIR pod. You can check out my character. He's rocking the fighter pilot helmet there with the O2 mask. You know, nothing serious, nothing crazy, just trying to stand out. As if this plane already doesn't stand out. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the Aero Optica. Again, this is part of our Zero to Hero tutorial series. So definitely keep watching, because we're going to be doing this for all default aircraft in the sim, as well as any other payware aircraft that come across later on. But guys, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you learned something, let us know in the comments below. If there's something that I missed, as always, also let me know. Anyways, guys, this is Captain Gonzo with That Flight Sim channel. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Happy flying.